Have you ever wondered about getting a pilot's license and what different kinds of pilot licenses there are? Today I'm going to talk a bit about the different types of pilot license you can earn and what it takes to get them. First, pilot licenses are usually referred to as certificates. The first pilot certificate you'll get during your training is a student pilot certificate. This used to be just a piece of paper, usually printed on the back of your medical certificate, but now you'll get an actual plastic card like any other certificate. This allows you to fly by yourself, with your instructor's permission, to build skill and confidence. It's subject to lots of restrictions, however, like not flying at night or taking anybody up with you. The first fully fledged pilot certificate most people earn is the private pilot certificate. It requires a minimum of 40 hours of flight time, though most people take closer to 60 hours. The restrictions of the student pilot certificate no longer apply, so you can fly at night and carry passengers, but you cannot get a job flying yet, since a private pilot may not be paid to fly. To earn this certificate, you'll need to pass a written test as well as a practical test called a check ride, consisting of an oral exam and a flight test. Some people who want to fly just for fun opt for a recreational or sport pilot certificate instead of the private pilot. These certificates require less training than the private pilot, but are subject to a lot more restrictions, so most people just go for the private. If you want to get paid to fly, you'll need to get a commercial pilot certificate. This usually requires that you have a minimum of 250 hours of flight time and already hold a private pilot certificate. After passing the written test and check ride, you can fly for hire. If your goal is to be an airline pilot, however, you'll need more than a commercial pilot certificate. To be a pilot for any scheduled airline, called a Part 121 operator, you'll need an airline transport pilot certificate. This requires a minimum of 1,500 hours, though a restricted ATP certificate can be obtained under certain circumstances with less hours. So, how do you get all those hours you need to be an airline pilot? While there are all kinds of flying jobs for pilots with less hours, the most common and practical way is usually by working as a flight instructor, teaching others to fly. To do this, you'll need to earn your flight instructor certificate. There's no minimum hour requirement, though you do need to hold a commercial pilot certificate. You'll need to pass 2 written exams and a check ride. The oral exam for the flight instructor check ride is usually quite a bit longer and more in-depth than for the private or commercial check ride. In the next video, I'll discuss what a rating on a pilot certificate is and the different types of ratings available.